Hello, welcome, salutations. What?
It's Curt and Jen in the Morning podcast. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for letting us be part of your day.
Yep, every weekday we put on the show for you here, so we'd appreciate it if you would like, if you would follow, if you would subscribe, all the things, as Jen says.
We would love it so much.
We would appreciate that so much. By the way, today is National Nothing Day. I know that the national days sometimes are like, this is stupid, this is awesome. This one is awesomely stupid.
Because you get to do nothing?
If you want to celebrate National Nothing Day, which has been celebrated since 1973, you want to continue the tradition, you can observe it by doing nothing. I looked it up. That's what you're supposed to do.
Or you can be a productive human in society.
Well, are you going to participate in a national holiday or not?
Probably not. I have things I got to get done.
It's true. For you today on the show, we have Burgermaster news. That's the first time in my life that I've ever said Burgermaster news.
I like Burgermaster.
Indeed.
How much time do you spend eating breakfast? Mm-hmm. Things audiologists would never do.
This is to help your hearing because both Jen and I have massive hearing loss. I do.
I don't. I don't think I do.
Too many concerts, too many.
You wear headphones really loud, Curt.
Yeah. Okay. So fitness trends to be on the lookout for in 2025. And also, if you're a Bridget Jones fan, Hugh Grant and Renee Zellweger from Bridget Jones' Diary. Yeah. They discuss a Bridget Jones storyline, and they say, would this be okay in today's society?
Also, Curt, I found a new job that you can apply for. Actually, our friend Carrie sent me the job, and I thought, oh, Curt could do this. I can't do it, but Curt could do it.
Why could you? I don't even. Okay, we'll find out.
Yes.
All right. And finally, your answers for our question of the day. What is the best part about being an adult? Here we go.
We're starting out with some burgers. Some burger news? Okay.
It's not the best burger news.
What? I just read the headline.
The first Burgermaster location is closing.
Why? Where? I don't even know where it is.
Well, Burgermaster is kind of how far do they go? Is it just the Seattle area or is it all of Washington?
I don't actually know the answer to that. I just know that there's one right down the street from us.
On Bothell Everett Highway.
And Burgermaster, for those that don't know, you can drive, you drive your car in and park, and then they come out and take your order in your car, and then they bring a little tray out and put it on your window if you want to eat it there, and then you just eat in your car.
They don't wear roller skates like they did in the 50s and 60s, but yeah, think back to Happy Days and
it's
the times
fun.
like that. That's Burgermaster.
And yummy.
So this is the one in the U District. That's the original, which was built in 1952. It's been operating for 73 years, and at the end of February, they announced that it will be closed. This is according to a Facebook post for Burgermaster's Facebook page.
Okay. But the other ones are staying open?
Well, yes. So just because the original one is closing, don't worry. You still have Bellevue. You still have Aurora Avenue in Seattle. You still have Mill Creek. You still have Mount Vernon, among others. So there are still Burgermasters to be gone to. Just
there's not many. Yeah, I don't think there's many.
So, but that's okay.
Support Burgermaster so they don't have to close more locations.
Stay open, those locations.
I mean, they can stay. Yeah.
Although here's a question. When was the last time you went to Burgermaster?
It's been a little while.
That's the thing. I think people forget. It's like, something, it's closing? Well, gee, that was great. But, oh, wait, I never went there. That's the problem.
Well.
Okay,
go to Burgermaster. That's what I say.
You found this one about people eating breakfast.
Yeah. People spend less than 5 minutes eating breakfast. So some people say it's the most important meal of the day. Mm-hmm. And just over 20% of Americans, adults that is, say it's their favorite meal of the day. It is my favorite meal of the day by far. I love all breakfast foods.
It's hard to go wrong.
But still people are saying, well, it might be our favorite meal, but we have zero time for it.
So about half of people in this poll said they always or usually have breakfast. Another 50% said they usually prepare their own breakfast. But 10% of people said they scarf their entire breakfast down in less than 5 minutes.
You don't. You take your time eating your breakfast every morning.
I know what you're talking about. Wasn't there?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm legitimately saying that you make your breakfast, you sit down, you enjoy it many times with your wife, Dana.
Some OJ and
But some people say it's like 5 minutes, they're scarfing it down and out the door, or maybe even on the run.
Well, one of the reasons is obviously being short on time, but also they say breakfast is not a communal meal for most people. About half of people say they eat breakfast alone. 47% of people watch TV while they eat breakfast. Although I think we watch TV while we eat dinner too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but usually it's the news because I'm getting ready for the day and stuff like that. So
all right.
Give breakfast a little more love, right?
Yeah. Love your breakfast. Enjoy your breakfast. Sit down if you can. It's better for your digestive system too. I'm pretty sure of it, that if you just take time. Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to put this in here because There were so many things I didn't know when I was reading the article. I wanted to share it.
Right.
Things audiologists would never do.
Let me jump in here by saying, if you don't mind,
Please.
We didn't really have these options when we were young. I mean, nobody thought about it. And I'm standing there at a concert, you know, as an 18-year-old kid, right up against the monitors and stuff like that. That was not a smart thing to do. And now, of course, you've got all kinds of earplugs. I have custom-made earplugs, by the way. I highly recommend that if you can afford it.
Really?
It's not that much. I went into an audiologist. It was like I think it was $100 for the test and everything, and then they make a foam, you know, mold of your ear, and now you have custom made.
Interesting.
I think
I don't
awesome.
like wearing earplugs. They bug my ears. I have a hard enough time wearing earbuds to, you know.
That's probably what a lot of people say too when they don't. But you should. And here's Jen with some more information.
So they would not go to a concert or any other loud environment without hearing protection.
Right.
So this was what was interesting to me. So many people think that hearing loss is just a normal part of aging, but it's not true. It's more about putting yourself in loud environments for long periods of time, Curt Cruz, when you wear your
Macy
headphones. He's saying that because Macy on her phone she was in a loud environment when I was talking to her.
Her daughter got a note, a little thing popped up on her phone, said, "You're in a loud environment."
It's because I was talking.
It was because you were talking.
And I wasn't yelling at her.
So,
I was just talking. Okay, they wouldn't ignore their ear pain or sudden drops in hearing.
Right.
So you got to pay attention to any kind of hearing loss because you got to act fast and you should go see an ENT physician.
Now, the ear candle thing is kind of weird.
I've never even heard of. Had you heard of this?
I've heard of it, but it has to do with getting the wax buildup out of your ears. And I think that they say, you know, there's such a thing as an ear candle. The audiologist saying don't use that. There are far better options for managing wax buildup. Like
ear wax softening drops or hydrogen peroxide, just to name a few.
Oh.
Okay, this one is killing me. And I've heard it before, but I cannot break the habit. They would not clean their ears with Q-tips. They say our ear canals are self-cleaning and earwax is actually beneficial because it protects against infection and helps remove debris. But I have to clean my ears with Q-tips. Like, I don't even know why.
Because, and then after,
it feels
I
weird.
Guarantee you afterwards, you look at it to see how much.
Oh, for sure. And if there's a lot of, like, I always tell the girls, you have a lot of potatoes growing in your ear. If there's really a lot of wax.
You might have to go in for a second time if you're like, I got to get more out of there. So, but here's my question about that. And I don't want to get off subject, but what else are Q-tips for?
I mean, I can't answer that. I don't know.
I guess, do you use it to remove the nail polish?
No, those are cotton balls or cotton pads, I think.
And we move on.
All right. They wouldn't insert any other object into their ears.
Bad idea. And that is true, even if you're using Q-tips, which we don't recommend.
They say you can go like swimming or in the shower. That will help, like loosen things up, and you can gently wipe out anything with a cloth.
Right. Any other tips from audiologists?
Yeah, they wouldn't delay getting hearing aids. The longer you wait, the more difficult it is that your ears become like adjusted to not hearing, and your brain needs time to adjust to the hearing aids. So it's a connection between your ears and your brain, and the longer you wait, the harder it is to make that connection.
And I got the EarPods, the Apple EarPods Pro, which actually has a built-in hearing aid if you want to use it for that.
Seriously?
Yeah. So you're listening to your music and somebody starts talking, you can go hearing aid and it'll amplify.
They wouldn't purchase a hearing loss treatment. That seems too good to be true. Like not once they're sold in stores. Like you got to go to the doctor for this stuff.
Right.
They wouldn't wear hearing aids inconsistently. They are made to wear consistently.
Like all the time.
It's that whole brain ear thing. It needs to have connection. So And this is untreated hearing loss has been linked to loneliness and cognitive decline, and hearing aids enhance the quality of life and personal safety. So don't be like, I think people feel like maybe shame from it or embarrassment or something, and don't.
I can share it with you. It's very frustrating. I also have like nasal allergy issues. So my head is stuffed up a lot. All right. But in addition to that, from years of mixing in clubs and all that kind of stuff, yes, I have some hearing loss. And maybe some of it does just come with age, but it's frustrating when I constantly have to say, could you repeat that or whatever. So I do miss out on a lot of conversations. I'm trying to learn how to read lips better.
Have you gone to the ear doctor, Curt?
I need to go to the ear doctor again.
Maybe do that.
Okay. I'll report
I just wanted
that.
You guys to know that because I think it's important as we age.
Absolutely.
And not even as we age. Just be careful about your ears.
Completely different subject.
Yes, completely.
And this just goes to say... we're all on the roads together. Let's all just try to get along, right? Because this is just stupid.
Curt, say what happened.
Yes, you're driving along at night. You're on the freeway. You're probably a little bit tired, and all of a sudden, the person coming at you has their high beams on, or the person in the car behind you got the high beams on. It's going in your mirrors.
And sometimes you forget that you have your high beams on.
True. Now, don't do what this guy did. Of course, he's from Kentucky, which I'm like, it's funny when
be careful what you say about people from other states.
I know. And I lived very close to Kentucky and Cincinnati growing up. This guy named Frank was driving through California. The driver going the other way allegedly had their brights on. Okay, that's not a story. Rather than flash his lights at them or whatever, Frank got aggressive and he decided to ram into their vehicle 3 times. High beams make him angry, apparently. So Frank then fled the scene, but police eventually caught up to him. This is what I love. They pulled him over. He told the cops he was upset about the lights because of the brightness and potential radiation.
What?
Am I missing something here? Is there radiation coming off of headlights? Got arrested and charged with assault.
That's what you get, Frank. That's what you get from being so ornery.
In case you were wondering, the other driver apparently is okay, other than having a smashed up
Take
car.
your beautiful self back to Kentucky. 4 trends to look out for in 2025.
These are fitness trends.
Oh, yeah, fitness trends.
Well, they're trends, but they're fitness trends.
They are specifically fitness trends, which I like the first one. Team sports. Team sports and studio-based workouts are trendy.
We need to play pickleball more often.
I will. Okay. Those are team sports and individual sports.
All right.
And studio-based workouts like yoga and spin classes are up too.
Okay.
Personal trainers are still popular, but trending down.
I had a personal trainer for a while, and I guess it didn't work very well for me because I would go in and do the workout and do what they said, but then that was it. I wouldn't do anything when I got home.
Okay. More people at your gym will be on Ozempic. That's a fitness. I don't know how that fits into fitness trends, but at least they're at the gym, and that is what counts. Because here's the thing that they're saying about things like Ozempic is you got to support the lifestyle. You got to support it with lifestyle choices, right? Eating better and moving your body.
Well, you don't want to be taking Ozempic forever. You're not supposed to take it forever. So, once you get to where you want to be, that's when you have to say, okay, I'm done with Ozempic, and now I've got these new habits that's going to keep me where I want to be.
My doctor, way back before this became a big thing, I was very frustrated by my weight. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I'm eating better. It's just no weight is coming off. And she said, I can give you some shots, but you're going to have to take them for the rest of your life if you want to keep the weight off, because the weight's going to come back if you go off of it.
That was actually when it first came out. Wegovy first came out. They were saying that once you stop, you're doomed. But I think that you can
if you're supporting it right. Yeah,
like with any of these things in the past, any of these diets, it's like once you get done with the diet, you have to live your life. More.
Well, it needs to be a lifestyle, not a diet. It needs to be a lifestyle change. Yeah. Okay. And the final thing is turning your workout into a game is becoming more and more popular, which means things like the Apple Watch challenges, Fitbit badges that you can earn. There's good motivation.
There you go, man. You got lots of good information today, Jen.
Thanks.
You always do. All right.
I like to find these little nuggets that are fun.
Here, let me get rid of this music because I have something else I want to play for this.
Okay.
Because this is another, how I like the goofy stories.
I know you do.
But this is actually one that you found.
It is, because I love it. Okay, I think it's very clever.
We're going to start with this. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Case of the Mondays.
Case of the Mondays.
Is it Coors Light?
Who was that?
That was from Office Space.
Okay.
And they're like, can you get away with saying somebody's got a case of the Mondays? I don't know.
Okay, so Coors Light is actually selling a case of the Mondays.
Here's the deal.
They're putting they've made fun of the week for an ad that's obviously obvious misspelling of it. Why? A case of the Mondays?
I don't know. Maybe this was from an actual photo that we can't see now. But the deal is Coors Light is they decided to take this case of the Mondays thing a little further, and now they've got their marketing department involved and their branding
It is really great. They just put on the case of the Mondays, and it's Coors Light beer.
Yes.
It's a case of Coors Light beer.
They also
says case of the Mondays.
Announced that they're changing their name temporarily to Mondays Light. So you can go out and buy yourself a case of the Mondays if you're interested in that.
They have Mondays Light and regular Mondays?
They're changing the name. Well, it's Coors Light is the case of the Mondays, I think. I don't think it's regular Coors.
Oh, okay.
So.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. I
If
think
you
it's
want
I
an
think
actual
it's
case
clever.
Mondays.
Here's the thing. I like these things. Like I said, there was something yesterday. I can't remember what it was.
when people come up with great marketing ideas, you're
I
like,
love it. Brilliant. I love it. Way to go.
They're
Good
selling
job, Coors Light.
the 12 packs of Mondays Light nationwide for a limited time, and you can also win some by posting a photo after their ad runs during the Super Bowl. Oh, it's going to be a Super Bowl ad as well.
Well, of course it is. We're right during that time. Ooh.
Now, see, I've got the wrong thing up here. Did we win something?
Hugh Grant and Renee Zellweger discuss if this Bridget Jones storyline would be allowed today.
Right.
What's this Bridget Jones storyline? Like the original storyline or a new
back
one?
to the original. Well, it's kind of got a thread through a couple of them. So
Okay.
Bridget Jones' Diary, of course, starring Renee Zellweger and Hugh Grant. There's a new Bridget Jones movie coming out, and Renee ended up as the cover star for British Vogue this week.
Oh.
And she was interviewed as a feature. She was interviewed by Hugh Grant. That's kind of cool.
I love that.
So during their conversation, they spoke about their characters in the first Bridget Jones film. He was Daniel. He played her boss, Bridget's boss.
Yes.
With whom she embarks on a romance after he sends her flirtatious messages. He actually accosts her at a work event and infamously gropes her in a lift in the workplace. And they're saying, hey, you know what? Does the original film look dated now? Can we get away with this? Or would this be considered inappropriate? He's her boss. He's exploiting his powerful position. Where do you stand on that, Renee?
It would not. Oh, what did she say? I want to know what
she said, I'm sure HR would have some stern rules down at the publishing house these days. They worked at a publishing house.
Yes.
And then so Hugh went on to say, well, would Renee, as Bridget, advise a friend in her position with the boss to say, hey, you need to be reporting your boss, right?
Yeah.
And Bridget, well, guys, I'm mixing them up. Renee said, I'm really glad I don't have to have an opinion on this in real life. It sounds complicated. I'm sure there'd be a meeting with HR.
There would be. Mm-hmm. If you decided to report it. Maybe it's welcomed.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, in the movie, it was welcomed, right? Do I remember this right or not remember it right?
A lot of movies from back then, they're saying that wouldn't fly now. I mean, they're talking
Of course,
about...
times have changed, but that's kind of our historical part, that's a part of history, right? That tells a story about where we were during those times.
I think people took it in a lighthearted manner, but of course there's sometimes very serious problems in real life like that. But Hugh did agree that his character in Bridget Jones' Diary would have to be, quote, re-educated.
I'm looking up. Keep going on whatever's next. Because, I can't. You can't. I want to see Renee Zellweger's picture on.
Can it wait till after we're done with our show?
Yes, I guess.
I mean,
I wanted to see it. I know. Okay, keep going.
All right. The new movie, Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, is going to be out soon. It's the fourth in the series of Bridget Joneses.
All right. I got a text from our friend Carrie last night that said, Jen, I found a job you can apply for. And I'm like, that would be super fun. Only I can't do that because I've got a child that I need to take care of.
Okay, there's that. Now, I have not scrolled down on the page to see what this job is yet because you said this is a perfect job for Curt.
I love it.
What am I going to do?
Planters is offering $45,000 a year to drive their Nutmobile. How fun would that be?
Planters, nuts.
Yes.
So they have a Nutmobile now, which I assume is kind of like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yes,
right?
it is.
Okay, so how much can I make?
$45,000 a year, but it's only a 1-year gig. They're going to fire you in a year.
That's okay.
They're just looking for There's 3 people to tootle around in the Nutmobile across the country. Mm-hmm. It's slightly less sexy than its cousin, the Wienermobile. Like you mentioned, the Wienermobile looks a little bit better.
It's just like a big peanut, right?
Yeah, it's a big peanut. So starting this June, you could be a brand ambassador for a year, driving it around the country to different events. It's part of their Peanutter Squad.
Peanutter Squad. Now, I appreciate the tip, but I guarantee you when the Nutmobile pulls up in an event, they don't want to see me coming out of it. You know who does this? It's always college kids. You know
what? Don't discount yourself. You have a great personality. It might be perfect for you. They offer benefits with the $45,000 salary. They also have a travel stipend. So,
Okay.
You need to apply between now and February 14th at plantersnutmobile.com, okay?
Is there a reason that's Valentine's Day you got to do it by?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
All right. Let me talk to my wife because I'm in.
You do it?
I would do it.
I would totally do it too. Maybe I could just bring Macy with me and homeschool her.
Nut school her. David Schwimmer, you know the name. He was on Friends, obviously.
Yes.
It seems odd to even bring that up. But just in case you didn't know, David Schwimmer played Ross on the show Friends
right.
forever. There was a story. He was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert recently.
Okay.
And like all, major stars talk about, before I made it big, I had this job.
Oh, and so he talked about what his job was, and it's an interesting one.
He ended up working for his mom, who was a lawyer. We have some audio on this one here. David Schwimmer.
One summer, I was just looking for work, and my mom said, well, you can be a process server for me. My mom was a divorce lawyer, and so I was the guy who
would pop out of the bushes?
Who would pop out of the bushes and serve you divorce papers. So, you get a tip, you're tipped off as to where they might be. And once, oh man, thank goodness I've never run into him since. But I served Rod Stewart. I don't even know if he knows. I don't think he knows.
He knows now.
He knows now.
There you go. Maybe that was his first brush with fame before he became Ross.
Served Rod Stewart divorce papers.
Yeah. That certainly tops the people that said, I worked at fast food or
That's
whatever.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It would, I think that he's like, he doesn't know. I hope he doesn't know. I think that'd be kind of a fun story to share.
Yeah.
Although, you never know. You might end up getting popped in the head.
No. Water under the bridge.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a funny story. And what a great, pre-fame job to have. Serving divorce papers.
Jeez.
Here we go.
What's the best part about being an adult? The best part about being an adult is something we asked you, and we are sharing answers now.
Yes, and we didn't have any of our own because I was thinking about it. There's so many great things about being an adult, but one of mine is actually in here that's
okay, you tell me.
All right.
So Marilyn said retirement and sleeping in.
That's the one.
Oh. Okay, off the top.
I'm not retired.
Sleeping in?
Sleeping in is awesome.
Okay.
But you can't, not every adult can do that, but just you and I can right now, except for the fact we did this podcast.
And we get up at 3:15 in the morning.
Unbelievably early.
Zolanda said I can stay up as late as I want and watch TV.
Right. Andrea, Sunday afternoon naps is what she said. Another good one, Andrea. And
why is she just limiting it to Sunday? That's what I want to know.
So Bill says nobody tells you when to go to bed, but he also put, on a serious note, the right to vote.
Yeah, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain if things don't go your way.
There you go. Thanks for that, Bill.
Laurel said independence and freedom to make your own choices. And Randy said being able to reach the cookies on the top of the refrigerator as long as you're tall enough, though. You have to have grown tall enough to do that.
You have to use a little booster, don't you?
I do.
All right, more things. What's the best part about being an adult? Carrie says getting to marry my crush and having kids with him. That's so mushy and awesome.
I love being a wife and mama. That is awesome.
Matthew similarly says I get to be a dad for my boys.
Yep. Susie said candy for breakfast, and Jenny said popcorn for dinner, and I like it.
There you go. Best things about being an adult, best part. Feel free to chime in on all of the platforms. Yeah. And even Instagram now.
Well, we put it on Facebook, and I've tried to put it on Instagram as well, so you can.
And it's there on Instagram. We just don't know. We haven't received any response on that one yet, so.
That's okay.
All right.
But it's always on Facebook, so.
Okay.
Curt and Jen in the morning. Oh, my goodness sakes. This is kind of funny, but I would imagine she got a little scared, too. So there's this woman in Indonesia who is going viral on social media because she got her nose ring stuck in the back of an office chair, and it was one of those office chairs that's like has the mesh.
Oh.
So she was trying to stick her nose through the holes in the back of the chair, right?
Why? Just to be goofy?
Yeah. And then she ended up getting her piercing caught in the mesh, and no one could free it, so they had to call for help. And the woman was still attached to the chair, and she had to wheel the chair out. So she's bending over, wheeling the chair out. Sometimes they lifted it. The local fire department was there to help. There's a video online that is worth watching if you want to search for it.
I think, though, that I got to say there's a bit of Darwinism here that I love. Don't be doing goofy things and sticking your nose through mesh when you have a nose ring in.
I mean...
Lesson to be learned, yeah?
The funny part about all of this, yes, I would say yes, Curt, is that the firefighters, once they got her to the station, and the firefighters, by the way, I really like their outfits in this. It looks like race car driver outfits.
It looks like a pit crew.
But they bring out a chainsaw to free her. And then they bring out an axe. They're being so funny because the whole thing is hilarious, right? I mean, they finally free her with a pair of pliers, right? They just kind of clip
Or
it.
wire snips or
But
something.
before that, they're bringing out all these different tools, and the woman's like, "No, oh my
That's
God,
hilarious.
no!"
The chainsaw. I hope they fired it up.
They just made, you know what? They just made some fun with it, and it's a fun video. I'm sure it was a little scary for her though too. To
you get a chance to see it,
how
it
this
is
is going
worth
to
it.
come out.
And don't stick your nose through a mesh if you have a nose. Have you ever caught a piece of jewelry on something? I know it happens.
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
Like an
It gets
earring or
scary.
something?
Yeah, like oh my God, am I going to rip my whole earlobe or what's the deal? Yeah.
We have a chainsaw downstairs if that happens.
Perfect.
Just so you
Great.
know.
Thanks, Curt. This leads us to another topic and our question of the day.
I love this one.
What's the silliest way you've ever injured yourself? The silliest way.
Yeah, goofy, funny, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was actually, I think that last story was a pretty good example of that.
Yeah.
But then she'd have to fess up. So this is we're talking some of the examples that we have. The silliest way you've ever injured yourself. How about the guy that waxed his floor? Tried to do that Tom Cruise dance.
Slide
and
from risky business.
He did not stop in time, and he busted his lip on a door frame.
Someone tried ice skating for the first time, immediately tried a jump and broke their tailbone.
That sounds
Oh my gosh, that would hurt.
How about this person that says, I stood on a beach ball and fell into a coffee table? Those are good.
I sliced my finger open on a disco ball.
How do you explain that one when you go in there? Like, what did you do?
I was hanging a disco ball and I sliced my finger.
Or were they dancing with their hands in the air and a slice?
Like they just don't care.
Just like that. That's what we want to know for tomorrow. What is it?
What's the silliest way you injured yourself? Do you have a story?
I ruptured my spleen while sledding.
Oh, yes. That's
When your mom says,
right.
don't go down that hill, there's too many trees at the bottom. And you go, nah, I'll be fine, Mom. And you go down the hill and you hit the tree, kapow. And your body slides off the sled and you rupture your spleen.
You want to know my story now or tomorrow?
Well, how about tomorrow?
Okay, we'll
Because I've
save
even
it.
got more.
You-
I've done a lot of dumb
you do.
things
Of course you do.
to end up in the hospital. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Every weekday we have this for you, and we appreciate every time you show up.
Make good choices, find joy, spread kindness. Make sure you laugh. Have a good day.